When the human survey ship Pioneer Dawn touched down on Xiphos 7, the crew expected the worst. After all, the Galactic Cartographers Guild had labeled the planet a Class 4 death world, barely survivable even with advanced technology. Acid storms, hyperaggressive fauna, and volatile tectonics made it a place no sane species would consider for colonization. But no one had bothered to tell Captain Alex Monroe that. He stepped off the shuttle ramp, helmet under one arm, grinning as a warm breeze ruffled his short black hair. The local sun was bright but not blinding. The air smelled sharp with ozone and wet soil. A massive, six-legged predator, half feline and half reptile, watched him from the tree line with glowing amber eyes. "Hey there, kitty," Alex said cheerfully. He dropped his helmet, cracked his knuckles, and waited. The beast hissed and charged, claws flashing like swords, rows of teeth bared. In a heartbeat it leapt, jaws wide enough to snap his head clean off. Alex ducked, pivoted on his heel, and slammed his elbow into the creature's ribs. There was a muffled crack, and the predator crashed into the underbrush, yelping. It scrambled up, gave him a bewildered glare, and bolted into the forest. Behind him, Lieutenant Harris stepped out of the shuttle, face pale. "Captain, did you just punch a Xiphos dire cat?" "Looked more like a big house cat to me," Alex said, rolling his shoulder. "We'll put up a fence around the base camp just in case." Harris stared at the forest. "You do know that thing has enough venom to kill a rhino in 30 seconds, right? Good thing I'm not a rhino." The rest of the Pioneer Dawn crew set up camp in record time. The standard protocols, defensive perimeter, drones for recon, anti-venom kits were all in place within the hour. But as the day wore on, it became clear that the planet's so-called dangers weren't quite living up to the hype. A toxic downpour rolled in that night, neon green rain sizzling against the reinforced domes. The crew huddled inside, peering out at the storm with a mix of fear and fascination. Alex, however, was out in it, suitless, standing arms outstretched like a child playing in the rain. Harris banged on the airlock window. "Captain, that rain can melt metal." Alex stuck out his tongue, catching a few drops. He spat them out with a grimace. "Tastes like battery acid. Bit tingly. Kinda fun." "Sir, please come back inside." Alex finally relented, stepping in with steam rising from his shoulders. His jumpsuit smoked a little where the rain had eaten tiny holes through the fabric, but his grin never faded. By the third day, the crew realized the local wildlife was more curious than murderous. Giant burrowing insects emerged at night, blinking at the humans with multifaceted eyes before scuttling away. A pack of dire cats stalked the camp but kept their distance after witnessing Alex break the first one's ribs. The geology team found pockets of volatile gas, but Alex just shrugged when they warned him. "Don't smoke near it." Problem solved. When the Galactic Cartographers Guild sent an encrypted message asking for a status update, Harris drafted a cautious report. Initial conditions suggest Xiphos 7 is marginally habitable with extensive protective measures. Recommend reassessment of danger level. Alex read it over his shoulder and snorted. "Rewrite that. Tell them you call this a death world? That's adorable. And mark it as Class 1, excellent terraforming candidate." Harris gaped at him. "Captain, you can't just downgrade a death world rating overnight. The Council will Alex raised a brow. "Lieutenant, humanity survived ice ages, megafauna, nuclear winters, and each other. We have cities in orbit around black holes. Compared to that, this place is a picnic. We'll plant some crops, build proper shelters, and train the crew to handle the local pests." He leaned back in his chair, hands behind his head. "Mark my words, one day there'll be families here. Kids will chase those dire cats around for fun. We'll turn this so-called death world into a vacation spot." Harris tried to picture it, humans sunbathing under neon storms, kids climbing acid-resistant trees, dire cats lounging by campfires like oversized pets. A grin crept onto his face despite himself. "Guess you're right, sir," he said. "Humanity, huh?" Alex's eyes twinkled with mischief. "Humanity F******, yeah." And outside the dome, Xiphos 7 watched in silence as the newest Deathworlders made themselves right at home.